talking about A Reluctant Belle by Beth White. Hi, my name is Aminata Koot. So before I give you this review, let me give you a little bit of history. So sometime last year, I decided I wanted to write a book. I wanted to write a fiction book because I've been doing nonfiction for a while and I've kind of gotten the hang of it, you know, in my head. But for some reason, fiction, I can't get it. I can't get it. I don't know why. So I decided that this year I'm going to be reading more fiction books. And this, guys, is one of the first books. This is one of the first books I've gotten from Belle, and I'm telling you, I am so impressed by it. This book is a great read. A Reluctant Belle is book 2 in the Daughtry House series. So book 1 was A Rebel Heart, and it followed the story of Selah and Levi. A Reluctant Belle is talking about Joel and Schuler, and guys, their relationship is hilarious. Because the first thing is that for the entire... You know what? Let me read the book. By day, the impoverished Southern Belle has been helping her sisters in their quest to turn a rundown family plantation into a resort hotel after the close of the Civil War. But by night, and under a male pseudonym, she has been penning articles for the local paper in support of constructing a school for former slaves. With the Mississippi arm of the KKK gaining power and prestige, Joel knows she's playing a dangerous game. Loyalty shifts when Schuler Beaumont, a childhood enemy and current investor in the Daughtry House renovation, takes over his assassinated father's candidacy for state office. Joel finds that in order to protect her family and her home, she and Schuler will have to put aside their long-standing personal conflict and develop a united public front. The trouble is, what do you do when animosity becomes respect and even love if you're already engaged to someone else? There is so much conflict, there's so much tension between Schuler and Joel that for the entire book you're just, okay guys, just do it already. You know you need to be together. But the characters, they were sworn enemies, and that relationship is what propelled the entire book. But for me, I actually enjoyed reading the historical portions because what Miss White did is she kind of took the political situation of the post-war era and she kind of wove it into the story. As you heard from the blurb, Joel is sympathetic towards the former slaves. She actually is secretly teaching them, well, not so secretly, teaching them how to actually read. And that in itself tells you a lot about her character. What I loved about it is that she really was a reluctant Belle. You know how normally when I think of Belles, I think Scarlett O'Hara with the fainting spells and the dreamy sighs, but at the same time there was so much grit and there was so much character in her, and she had so much heart that you really just wish you could actually sit down and talk to her. Schuler was sweet, you know, but he was one of those guys that what you saw was not what you got, because he put up this great big facade, but unless you knew who he was, you didn't know the true person. And it got me thinking, you know, that's really how persons are. A lot of the time we put on a show and we don't even really, sometimes we don't even know the truth ourselves because we are so busy acting a role. What I really liked about this book also, guys, is the fact that the person's relationship with God was so evident. I mean, whenever they had a personal conflict, they were praying about it and they were praying through it. And you could see that they were trying their best to walk with God. And I like that. And there was a scene near the end where Schuler was making a comment to Joel, and he was telling her that, you know what, he had an experience that reminded him of how God treats him. And I was like, yeah, that's so true. That's how God is. And guys, I tell you, this book, if you haven't read it already, you need to go ahead and get a copy. So if you like, you can read a full review on my blog, and I will put the links in the show notes below. So now it's your turn. Have you read Reluctant Belle by Beth White? If you have, I'd love to hear what you thought. So go ahead and hit me up in the comments. Until next time, this is Amy, and I'm encouraging you to know God, know yourself, run your race.